Hello, Clive. Thank you so much for giving up some of your time to speak with me today. Perhaps you could kick things off by telling me a little bit about your background prior to becoming an Eazi-Business partner.
Hi, Charles. Nice to see you again. Prior to becoming an Eazi business partner, I worked in retail for the better part of 40 years. I worked all over the world in many different parts of retail, ranging from IT, consumer finance, purchasing, marketing, general management, and my most recent position up until the end of February this year was managing director for the business in Trinidad.
So, being a managing director of a retail group, I assume that you're not directly connected with the end customer. Would that be fair to say?
To a degree, I mean, we prided ourselves on getting out there into the field, visiting the stores, speaking to customers. So I would say I was pretty close to the customers because that was very much the way that we like to operate.
Excellent. And had you run a business before?
My whole life, I worked for the same retail business, and so in my positions over the years, I held senior positions. So from that perspective, I'd run a business for somebody else, but to run a business specifically for myself, like Full Pivot or Eazi-Business, I had not run a business before that was purely my own. No.
That's really interesting. And why did you decide to join the Eazi-Business network and represent Full Pivot, given all of your retail experience?
Well, I come from a technology and IT background. And so it was always something very close to my heart. Initially, within my retail background, I was very focused on rolling out technology systems, IT systems, and digitization, and all those kind of things. So it was something that I always enjoyed, always very close to. It was something that I studied, and so basically, when I decided it was time to leave after 40 years, I'd been looking around for quite a while to work out what I'd like to do next. So I'd spent a lot of time to various degrees of detail with Franchise Direct, looking at the different things that they had on offer, and Full Pivot or Eazi-Business popped up one day, and it piqued my interest. So I looked at it in some pretty decent detail, and then I reached out to you guys. And I spoke to a young gentleman whose name I cannot remember. And then he arranged for me to speak to you. And then you arranged me to speak to Zach. And then I guess the rest of it, as we would say, was history. I felt it was what I was looking for. And so I signed up.
So, Clive, you joined the Eazi-Business network quite recently. Tell us a little bit about the launch of your business, thinking about training and the support that was offered at the very start.
So right from the outset, the team at Eazi-Business has been extremely supportive. They provided me training. They've given me all the tools that I need. They've helped me with resourcing, and they've been very instrumental in making me feel comfortable within the Eazi-Business framework, which is obviously relatively new to me.
Trinidad, compared with the UK, obviously it's a very small market. Perhaps you could tell me a little bit about the local market in Trinidad and the types of customers that you've been working with recently.
I've been working with a lot of different types of customers, I would say. I've been working with a professional resourcing company that's basically providing accounting, auditing, IT, and legal expertise from within Trinidad, working remotely into the US and the Canadian market, so the North American market. I've been working with a medical lab. I've been working with a engineering company that specializes in soils and all of those types of things, retaining walls and those sort of things. I've been working with a horse farm in Colombia. They wanted an English website, so I've been working with them on that. And then in addition to that, I'm also in early stages of discussion with a psychologist and with a food app delivery business. So the food app delivery business, all of those businesses that I've mentioned so far were new websites. They actually hadn't got websites. The food app business obviously has an app, and they do also have a website, but their website hasn't been updated for many years. And so they're interested in kind of a refresh of their and a complete redesign of their current website onto our platform, onto Eazi-Business platform. So they're the kind of the main areas. And in addition to that, what I've also put a lot of focus into is SEO. And the SEO opportunities. I have to say that I really like the SEO part of Eazi-Business. I see it as a big opportunity area for me, because I do believe that quite a few businesses in Trinidad see a website as literally that, and once they've launched the website, then they've kind of done their job. So having discussions with them about the importance of SEO and using some analogies for them. The one that I normally use would center around a car. You buy a car. When you buy the car initially, it's exactly what you want. You're really happy with it, but you have to service it. You have to keep it working. You can't just leave it because it'll stop working. And so when I kind of pull in those kind of analogies and that kind of thought process, they're quite receptive to discussion, to be honest with you.
That's really interesting. One of the things I wanted to circle back to was the amount of different businesses you're working with. You mentioned a horse farm, a psychologist, an engineering company. How did you find all of these different clients?
That's an interesting question, because I would say the Trinidad market is a small market, and so far most of the work that I've got, most of the leads I've got have come from referrals. And so I do one website and they mention it to somebody else who could be in a completely different field. And then they reach out to me. And so it's basically come through referrals. And I've got other websites that I'm in early parts of discussion with too, that I haven't even mentioned. I've got a sign company. I've got a mechanical engineering company, all kinds of different businesses. I'm focused on small businesses, and they're very diverse and different.
So it's mainly referrals that are helping you find new customers over the last year or two. We've recently launched the Marketing Hub and also the Sales Center with Snapshot reports built in. Have you used any of these resources at all?
I have, and I have to say that I love that part of the Eazi-Business system. So I've most definitely used it. Obviously, because most of the businesses that I just spoke about are new websites, they didn't really have anything for me to really work with in any major way as far as a snapshot or anything like that. But I have used Snapshot to try and get some leads based off of various referrals I've had, and to enter in discussions on trying to get people or businesses to be open to developing new websites. And so I have used it. In fact, I've got 2 reports running in the background right now as we speak.
So you're mainly using Snapshot reports. You're using it as a conversation starter with a potential customer, or to move a prospect from having a conversation to a meeting. Whereabouts does it fit into the sales process?
It's varied. I wouldn't say that I've had a common approach there. I mean, there are times where I'm going to go into discussions with persons and businesses that maybe I don't know so much about. I maybe don't know the people so well, or don't know them at all. And so in that case, I might run it up front and take it in. With others, where I understand the business more and I understand the websites, and I kind of start the discussion and then tell them that I could run some analysis for them on their existing websites if they would like, and then we could have further discussions. So it's kind of varied.
So it's kind of varied. That's interesting. How much do you charge for these solutions in Trinidad?
Well, at the moment, I'm very much following the guidance that comes from Eazi-Business. I just basically look at the guidance that you guys are giving. Obviously, you're giving it to me in pounds, and then I would convert it to Trinidad and Tobago dollars. That's basically what I'm doing at the moment, because I'm kind of still trying to feel and understand the market. So I'm going with your guidance, and obviously as part of that, I'm aware of what other persons are charging for web development, and so I'm also conscious of kind of what the space can take, but the recommendations that you guys have given in your pricing structures are what I'm using at the moment.
Great. Since you recently started your business, I would be interested to know how it's currently performing and what your expectations are for the next 12 to 18 months.
Okay, so well, I as I said, I've had I didn't rush into it, so I'm comfortable with the pace that I'm going with at the moment. Over the next 12 to 18 months, I'm expecting to see some major traction. I mean, I've set myself some quite ambitious targets and expectations, and I track them, and I will adjust them and tweak them and reforecast as I need to. But I'm expecting some good to come out of this. I'm expecting some positive traction.
Awesome. Hopefully, this goes well for you. And what type of advice would you give to someone who's considering joining the Eazi-Business network?
So for me, if I look back at myself, I mean, it was the support, the resources, the training, and the opportunities that I saw for growth. I saw some good opportunities for growth, and so if I was to talk to somebody or give somebody some advice about the Eazi-Business network, I would focus in those areas.
So, would your advice be to use the training and support? Have you, I guess, learned any lessons along the way over the last 6 months that you could share with us?
Yeah, I would recommend to them to definitely use everything that comes to hand, and I would say that of course I've learned lots and lots of lessons, because I mean I came into this not familiar with your platforms, not familiar with the sites platform, the app platform, and the app platform I haven't really used at the moment. I'm very focused on the sites platform, and so there's been a lot of times where I've been trying to work out how to do things. And I've worked out in some cases how to do it. But then when I've had the opportunity to talk to somebody back at base, they said, but Clive, you could have done it like this. I said, really? All I had to do was click a single button and it would have centered it. I didn't have to drag it across and try and work out where the center was. They said, no, you just needed to press that button. And so, I mean, so for sure, I've learned a lot of stuff. I mean, I could sit here for hours and talk about what I've learned. But the key thing for me is that the support has been phenomenal. Whether it's support from a resourcing perspective, from a training perspective, it's been very, very good.
Excellent, Clive. I know that you're a busy man, so I'll let you crack on with your day. Thank you so much for all of your time today and giving us some fantastic insights as to how your business is doing. Thanks again.
Thank you very much. And you have a good day too.